I wanted to do a part two in Greek's racist pathology, basically. Okay, in this one, I wanted to address. So, he tends to think that white people come from a better people, so to think. This is what he specifically said, that black people and white people don't come from the same people, and that Jesus was originally white. Even though Jesus isn't anyone special because he's not God or anything. I mean, anyone who thinks that, well, I'm not a Christian, so that has no importance to me. But, you know, what I really wanted to say was, okay, yes, we can admit that black people and white people actually don't come from the same people. But this is what triggered him. This is why a part of the interview he said, don't listen to scientists. Because the scientists don't have completely good things to say about this. Hey, we all know white people and other races from black people come from a creature, I guess you could say. People call it a monkey, some people call it an ape, some call it a subhuman species. And you can look at your DNA if you're a white person. You got 2% of that creature in you. I think that we all understand that yes, you do come from something different, but it surely isn't better. I mean, you come from a subhuman species, a monkey, or an ape, and you want it to be seen as something better. But in reality, you're not. That's just something you made up in your head. If we're really going to deal with it and say who's different, well, you have Neanderthal blood. You have Neanderthal genes, just like Asians, just like all the races do. It's not a white thing either, because he tried to make Neanderthal like the original white person. No, that has to do with all the other races. All the other races have it, which means it's not about you being an original white person, it's about you being related to a monkey, being related to an ape, being related to a subhuman species. Okay? So, I mean, if we want to make a distinction, sure, I don't care. I mean, like, I'm proud to be all human and not have any ape blood in me. I mean, who would not want to be the original human being? Just saying. I mean, like, if we're really making that distinction here. But this as a main component as to why this guy had an issue with Crystal Swirls talking about white men, because she is of the race that he thinks is less than him, and he thinks come from a lesser people or lesser creature even. We don't know what he thinks black people come from. But the point is, he specifically wanted to distinguish himself from black people, you know. And that is a major reason why he had an issue with her. It had nothing to do with, oh, she's changing her tune. No, it's about him feeling like, how dare a black person, and that's probably a euphemism for whatever he used for her, whatever he referenced her as in his head. How can a black person basically talk poorly about a white person when a white person is basically better than a black person? That's what he was basically saying. And, another thing with him is this is why he has issues with black men, because he feels like they can take an authoritative role to him sometimes. And if they do, like if they're his boss or something, that would really trigger him, because he feels like as a white person, he should always be on top. And this is probably what triggered him when he was born in the hood and stuff. Like I said, he's having a lot of hood white man syndrome, basically, where he's upset that he's in the same place as a black person because he thinks his skin tone should make him have more than another black person. You know, this is a thing that people always talk about with people who they call white trash, but it's actually more, I think, prominent in people who are born in the hood that are white. You know, white hood people are not the same as people that they call white trash. Honestly, I would think people who are white, who are called white trash, I wouldn't call them white trash, but people who are called that are actually better than people like him with the background that he has. Um, One other thing I wanted to say was um, specifically on the situation with Emmett Till, where he was trying to talk about why black men should be killed if they are with white women. Do you really think a person with this mentality is going to have any favoritism towards a black woman, especially a black woman who is interracially dating? No, of course not. So that's what I mean. This is obviously an individual who hates black people who interracially date to the point where he wants to have them killed like Emmett Till. So, yeah, I'm just saying, he definitely exposed himself. I mean, I don't feel he exposed Crystal, he just exposed himself as the racist I knew he was.